Welcome back to Morning Express. It's now time for us to look at the dailies and see what's making headlines. And as usual, we're going to start off with the Standard, where Uhuru says why I was angry and pained. We've already looked at this, but maybe just to get a few comments from the gentleman here. And this, of course, is as the president was meeting the Abagusi yesterday and saying that the reason why he went guns blazing against Maraga was that he was pained by the judgment that was put across. But there's also the question that has been raised, and I'll start with you, Brian, on whether the president is human and whether he's allowed to display his human side. You know, he's a politician, but he's human at the end of the day, but the head of state as well.
Well, we are talking about matters of idealism versus realism, and these are two components that never meet each other. But again, when you look at the conduct of the personality of the president, I would tell you that sometimes he easily gets agitated, and he forgets sometimes that he's the president of this republic, and goes overboard to act in a manner perhaps that neutral, pundits would say that it does not meet the threshold of the conduct of a person of the president. But again, when you bring the realism aspect of it, you realize that the president is still a human being, only that people still want to attach a lot of expectations within that institution. President Moi was there. He could also throw some tantrums here and there. President Kibaki was also there. He could throw some
very
insults here.
faint words.
Absolutely. And that shows that these people are all, exceptionally human, and they can still do what another human being can do. But when we now look at the modern ways of politics and comparing these with the developed democracies, Mike, you realize that if you compare our African leaders and and those from the other developed democracies, you will rarely see, a person of the president, trying to throw some tantrums or behaving in a manner to suggest that he can't control his emotions in the public. And that shows the difference between the developing democracies and the developed democracies.
All right, Bernard, your thoughts on the president's words, and now that he's excusing himself after what he had to say.
Okay, the excuse of the president, as I said earlier, is just being political right. And from the analysis, what president has been saying since the 1st September, when the elections were nullified, is something to show that actually some people say that the president is not acting like a president. And if you attack Maraga, you are not just talking about Maraga. You are talking about an institution. And here we are now talking about the presidency and independent institutions. Because when you say that Maraga and his people and those Wakoras, it means that these people are not really, they are crooks, they are conmen, they are, and it gives a sense of lack of trust in our institutions. Therefore, I think as much as President wants to be politically correct in terms of apologizing to the communities where the Supreme Court judges come from, but he has watered down the legitimacy of the Supreme Court, and I think that's why maybe the Supreme Court did not participate in the opening of the of Parliament by the President the other day on Tuesday. And also, when we look at the legitimacy around the presidency itself, it gives a lot of questions. It raises a lot of questions as to why the president is trying to assure Kenyans that I'm the president, I'm seated, right. I'm there.
I'm in control.
Yeah, I'm in control, Those are things that should come automatically. People should feel the presidency, not the president reminding people that I'm there, I'm the president, I'm in control. Those are some of the legitimacy issues that are coming up.